first heavy day of the new training block. This is Thursday. This is my primary SBD day. Probably the last training block that I'll have my primary SBD day on Thursday. My next comp will be in April, and it's gonna be on a Saturday. So probably just gonna shift the days around a bit, where the spacing is all the same, but my heavy day falls on Saturday instead. Squats were kind of weird today. They felt strong, but just off. It just felt off. I didn't feel dialed in, and technique did not feel there. Felt just kind of shaky and unstable, and just not very just not very competent. Didn't really feel like I knew how to squat very well, but I did feel strong, and I did hit 185 as my top single, and it moved well. So it's a decent start to the block, and it was a lot of room to grow. I did start using my velocity tracker again as well. It's been a while. It's been quite a while since I've used it, so I figured why not throw it back on there. Basically just use it as objective feedback, another way to help gauge RP. So I have my own subjective feeling, I have the video feedback, and then I have the actual speed of the bar, which I've used it for years prior to this, so I do have a lot of data on myself and what speeds correlate to what RPs, and what rep ranges and different lifts and all that stuff. But unfortunately, kind of broke during deadlifts, so I gotta take it apart and see if I can figure out how to get it to work again. So that's a bummer. So I had a back off set of 6, and the single at 6 was my target, and my back offs were sets of 7 at 145 kilos. This is my top set bench. I actually did this twice. The same day bench was feeling kind of off. It was feeling strong, but I was having some problems with my butt coming up and just kind of feeling inconsistent with leg drive. But the second single is better, and they're both easy. I actually feel like really in the groove, but I was going to keep my butt down. So I was playing around with various foot positions, and I think I've moved my feet a little bit more forward and a little bit more closer together compared to where I was. It seems to be the sweet spot for now. Back off bench were 3 sets of 8 at 95 kilos. Deadlifts were kind of feeling like squat, where I felt strong, but just not quite in the groove. Kind of normal for a week 1, so called it at 235, and then did my back off sets of 7 after that. Forgot my tripod this day, actually. Not very influencer of me, but ended up just leaning it against various things in the gym and made it work, and then borrowed a friend's tripod for this set specifically. Did not record accessories that day, but some belt squat and some lat pull down. On to Saturday now. This is some SSB tempo squats. Had 2 sets of 6. I don't think I've ever done moderate to high rep tempos, but gets your lungs working. Feels like you're doing a set of 10 as well, honestly. Pretty happy with technique on these though. Technique, speed, strength, actually everything felt really good on it. Did bench with 4 triples, 3 cow pause, and like I was saying previously, trying a little bit of a different foot position, so a little bit closer together and a little bit farther forward, and it actually felt really good this day. Bench felt strong, my butt was staying down, and everything felt locked in. RDLs were 2 sets of 8 at 155 kilos. So this is the third block now, from starting the third block of using a belt on RDLs to. And honestly, I'm not noticing any negatives. I'm not noticing that I'm creating any more fatigue or that I'm any more tired. My posterior chain is tired throughout the week. So for now, we continue on. It seems like there's no negatives, and I'm yet to see if there's any clear positives. But no negatives. So we continue on. RDL is definitely getting stronger. I'm definitely progressing in it for the first time in a while. So at least that's fun for now. Okay, I did some lat pull downs, some cable rows, and some lateral raises for my accessories on this day.